I don't claim to be good at sales. In fact, when I started my business, I had zero sales skills whatsoever. But I've managed to build a system as an introvert that's taken me from a struggling web designer to building a 6-figure web design business in less than 12 months. I can confidently sell websites for £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 plus, and it doesn't even feel like I'm selling. So I'm going to be breaking this down for you so you can look to do the same within your own business. And so you can start having your ideal customers come to you rather than you spending hours reaching out to them via cold email, cold DM, or cold calling. So if you want to know how I've done this with my journey, then let me show you. Well, first of all, let's talk about the typical buyer's journey. Okay, here we have a standard funnel. There are 4 steps to it, or 4 stages. You have awareness, you have interest, you have desire, and then you have the action. Now, awareness I shared with you in the last video where I showed you how to attract your ideal client. So if you've not seen that yet, I recommend that you go and watch that first and then come back to this one. Now, taking this funnel into account in this video, we're going to be talking more about the interest, desire, and how they're going to take action. Like visualizing a funnel like this, it helps you understand what the next steps are within this process and how you can actually win over your ideal customers and how you can get them to start working with you. Like, this is known as a strategy. So our strategy is going to be bring people in at the top by awareness. We're going to have them show interest. We're going to build desire between you, your product, and them. And then you're going to convince them to take action. That is what we're going to be doing throughout this video. Okay, so first of all, we need to build interest. And the best way that we can actually do this is via a lead magnet. Okay, it's so easy. You can produce many of them. And ultimately, if you didn't know, the end goal of a lead magnet is for you to get an email address so you can start building a database of your ideal customer, people that have shown interest in what it is that you are doing, what it is that you are offering, the problem that you are solving. If they show that interest, then you know that they are the right fit for your business. That's the intention of building that list with a lead magnet. So in essence, you're letting people come to you rather than you being pushy and going out to them. You're providing something that they want or that at least they feel like they need. Okay, and people are happy to part way with an email address, despite what you may think or what other people say. People are still happy to part way with an email address as long as you are giving them some sort of value. The value has to be there though. There's almost a balance or a scale between if there's not enough value or the customer or potential customer doesn't feel like there's going to be enough value there, they just won't part way with an email address that willingly. So the value has to be there, like a sales transaction. You give them value, they're going to give you their email address. So if you're wondering what a lead magnet looks like or what sort of lead magnets you can use to attract your ideal customer, okay, I'm just going to run through a quick list. We've got cheat sheets. Good cheat sheets are good, full of information that's going to be relevant to your ideal customer. Like an example for us, if we were to do a web design cheat sheet, it might be a cheat sheet on how they can build their own website and some of the terminology. Maybe that's a weak one. I haven't personally used cheat sheets myself, so I'm struggling with that one. It would require a bit more thought. But you could also use something like a mini course. Now, we have used a mini course before. I've used a 5-step course on how to attract web design clients for people like yourselves. But I also, for my customers within my agency, we have an SEO mini course, which is a broken down version of our bigger SEO course. But the idea of that is to give them enough value that they can start to then implement SEO themselves, and they feel that there's enough value there to part way with an email address. Another thing that you can do is a webinar, which if you don't know what a webinar is, it's typically, there comes in many forms, often video training. It could be live, it could be pre-recorded, but essentially what you're doing is you are digging into people's pain points and then positioning yourself as a solution or your service or product as a solution to their problem. You're also giving them guidance and the keys for them to be able to go and implement things themselves, or you're giving them a call to action at the end where they can shortcut everything and then come and work with you. So webinars are really good for helping build interest. We've got things like a free guide. We've also got templates. So as a web designer, you might be supplying a content copywriting template. It could be an SEO content writing template. It could be an SEO checklist. It could be a free WordPress template. You know, there's loads of options that you have. As long as it's something that your ideal customer needs, then you're not really going to struggle with getting that email address. So here's an example of our lead magnet as our mini courses I've just referenced. But now that you have awareness and you have that interest because you have that email address, okay, you essentially now have a bank of contacts which are interested in what it is that you do. This is a warm audience, in my opinion. Okay, now you can start creating that desire. So we know that they have a problem. okay, and they're seeking a solution. Now that all we have to do is convince them, we have to convince them that you have the answer to their problem and that they should choose you. There are a couple of ways that you can do this. First of all, you can build a community. Okay, it seems to be more of a modern way of doing things. You can build a community within Facebook, you can build it in school, and you are essentially the leader of that community and the main go-to source for help. Okay, it helps build credibility and trust between you and the people seeking help within your community. Another way that you can do this is a more common way, and that is just utilizing an email sequence. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. It's called a nurturing sequence. You can use 5 or you can use 10-step email processes to help guide, nurture, and build that trust. Okay, so the next step in the funnel is building that desire, and we're going to do this through nurturing. Okay, and you can see a diagram here, and this is essentially a top-level process of what nurturing might look like to end with you getting a booked call. So I'm just going to talk you through this. Let's just jump in and look at that in more detail. Okay, cool. So right at the top, we have our traffic sources for awareness. So we've got the likes of YouTube, we've got Instagram, and we've got Facebook. These are all ways that you can guide traffic to your site. We've also got Google search, because in the last training video, we referenced not only building a brand and building on social channels, but also making sure that your website ranks locally so you can pick up local traffic as well, because really underutilized ways. And honestly, if you haven't watched that training yet, you're going to find that super useful, and this will make a lot more sense, and make sure that you do go and watch that. So all of these are going to feed in to your lead magnet. So you're going to offer them the lead magnet, whatever that might be. It could be that free guide, it could be that checklist, it could be that mini course. Okay, choose what lead magnet you want to produce that you can provide the most value with and that your audience will want. Okay, you can produce many. The more lead magnets that you have, the more opportunity you have for it to resonate with your audience and for them to part way with that email address. Here we've got one lead magnet, and that feeds down into capturing someone's email address. That is the key thing. You want to capture their name and their email address. Then we're going to put them into an automated nurturing email sequence. Now the examples that I've got here is just 5 steps, but it just gives you an example of how this could look for you. So first of all, you've got the welcome email and thank you. Okay, and the idea of this is just to reaffirm the value that the lead magnet is going to bring to them and the importance of a personalized strategy. Okay, also it briefly introduces them to the unique value that the proposition of your digital marketing services are going to offer, or your digital web design services. That's the main aim here. Okay, step 2 is to share success stories and then start building that credibility. Okay, so you share success stories or case studies that are relevant to the content of the lead magnet. Okay, so whatever it is you're offering, if it was, in my example, an SEO mini course, we would continue to provide value by way of increasing their traffic and the importance of having a unique strategy. Highlight how these successes started with a simple strategy call. Okay, so at this point, you're kind of introducing the idea of a strategy call. You're not ramming it down your throat, you're just introducing it. And then introduce the idea that the call is no obligation and it's a high value opportunity. Next, address common challenges and offer solutions. Okay, so what are the challenges that they're facing? Discuss the common challenges that your audience is currently facing. You should have an understanding of this, and if you don't, we're going to move on to a stage in a second which will help you identify that in more detail. Offer a sneak peek into the kind of tailored service that they receive if they were speaking with you, and include a soft call to action encouraging them to book a call. So at stage 3, you're kind of introducing that call a little bit more, because remember, what we want to do here is we want more booked calls. Okay, the more booked calls that you can have, the more opportunity you have to increase your sales, and that's how you're going to make money in this game. Next, we've got present a limited time offer or bonus for booking a call. Okay, so discuss common challenges. Right, so next, we're going to present them with a limited time offer or bonus for booking a call. What this is going to do is you're going to offer them a limited time offer. Maybe you can give them something for free, almost like a lead magnet, but it's still of more value. If they do book on a call with you, there's loads of options that you have there. Emphasize the personalized attention and custom solution that they will get during the call, and make it clear how easy and beneficial the call will be, removing any barriers or hesitations. So think of objections that you might be receiving from your audience. Why would they not want to book a call with you? What are the common misconceptions? Okay, you can start to introduce those sort of things in that email, and also remind them of some of the success stories that you've got. Remind them of a recent customer that you have recently worked with. All of that can be thrown into this process too. This is just a guide, okay? I've just quickly put this guide together for you. There are so many ways that you can skin a cat. Okay, I recommend actually going to ChatGPT and just asking if it give you an outline, like a top level outline of a 5 or 10 step email sequence. And you can also go as far to ask it to kind of write it out for you if you wish. ChatGPT if you want more ideas. And then finally, it's a personal invitation and reinforcement of benefits. So craft a personalized message from you to them and recap on the benefits. Okay, you have to keep recapping on the value and how much better their life's going to be once they've worked with you, and include a strong call to action here. This is the last email, and ultimately this is designed to get, or shall I say, you can see each of the arrows here are pointing towards the website. Each of these are designed to get people to say, yes, I want to have a conversation. And what we're doing is sending them to the high converting website. Now this is really, really important. And what we do here is we use the story brand framework to build a high converting website. And we're going to talk about that next. So you can see here, we've got Google search, and this also feeds directly into the high converting website. And this is something that we are using and it's working really well. Not only are we funneling traffic from our social media accounts and the likes of YouTube, but we're also picking up a lot of traffic by way of Google organically, and we're sending them direct to our high converting landing page where we're convincing them to book a call. Okay, so for any of that to work, for the emails to work, for the high converting landing page to work, you need to know who your audience are and ultimately what it is that they really need. What do they desire? What do they need help with? Because if you know the answer to that, you can start crafting up a solution to solve that problem. I've stressed this so many times, you guys, you're problem solvers. You have to be a problem solver. Yes, you are a web designer, okay, but you are using web design as a tool to solve people's problems. If you can position yourself like that, you're gonna have a much easier chance of winning. So a good way of doing this is by using a book called Storybrand by Donald Miller. This book is amazing and it completely changed the way how I see myself in the assistance or the relationship between my business and the customer. If you don't know who you're speaking to, then you're just going to end up not speaking to anybody. Okay, think about this. If you went out into the high street and you just shouted, I do web design, no one's going to listen to you. They're just going to ignore you. But if you went out instead and said something like, I'm looking for builders. If you were shouting, I'm looking for builders, you'll be ignored by the most, but you'll definitely capture the attention of those that fit that criteria, so builders. But if you went out and took it a step further and shouted, I'm looking for builders that are struggling to get work at the moment, you're going to find yourself a new kind of category of people. Okay, you'll be ignored by the most. These are called non-fits. Okay, you don't want to be working with them anyway, and you're only going to capture the attention of the people that you do want to be working with. So that's why you really need to know who it is that you're talking to and why. What do they need help with? So let's look at this. This is the Storybrand by Donald Miller. Okay, now for any of this to work, you do need to understand who it is that you're speaking to and why they're here. Okay, this book was a game changer when I discovered it because it made me think about myself differently. As I've just said, the relationship between my business and the client. Okay, the book or this process, this framework, it works around a story. Now with every story, there is a hero, there is a villain, and there is a guide, okay? Think about Star Wars. Luke was the hero, Darth Vader was the villain, and actually Obi-Wan was the guide. We are actually taking the role of Obi-Wan here, and our customer is the role of Luke, okay? The customer is the hero, their problem is the villain, and we are the guide to help them overcome the villain, overcome their problem, okay? We're just guiding them. We are not the hero, and that's what this whole frame outlines. And if you can understand this and you can make your whole website about the customer and not about you, which is where a lot of people go wrong, you're going to end up with a much higher converting website. You're going to end up with a much higher conversion rate across the board when you make everything about your customer and not about you, and you position yourself as a guide to give them the tools, the knowledge, the resources and the help to get them where they need to be. So this is why this framework is so cool. So let me just guide you through this quickly. So we've got a character. This is the type of businesses that you work with. So you need to know that. They have a problem. External, internal, philosophical. Now I'm not going to tell you what yours needs to be, but I can give you an example by sharing with you how we approach this with our customers. So I'll give you an example for us within our agency. So an external problem could be, I need someone to help me generate high quality inquiries for our website. That's an external problem that our typical customer has. An internal problem could be that they're feeling frustrated by inconsistent, low quality inquiries or the lack of inquiries that means that they're not getting the growth that they hope for. Okay, it's more of an internal, how it's making them feel. External is what it looks like on the surface, top level. And then philosophical, okay, could be more around, they shouldn't have to work so hard within their business only to be dealing with time wasters. There are different types of problems that you want to be thinking about. Next, we've got meets a guide. Okay, you're the guide. All right, and we're going to show that we have empathy. We're going to show that we have authority within our space so that we know what we're doing. Okay, we're going to give them a plan. Okay, we're going to summarize what it is that we're going to do for them. And then finally, we're going to call them to action. We're going to encourage them that we know what we're doing. We're able to help them. So take action, let us help you. And then we've got the results in. So what's the results? What does success look like for them? So in this instance, if we are working with our clients, it could be better credibility by way of their website, funding, it could be more customers, it could be more inquiries, it could be better brand positioning. There's loads of benefits that a new website could bring to a customer. You want to highlight what failure looks like as well. Now, the easiest way to do this is just highlight what it would feel if they didn't change, if nothing changed within their business. What would that mean to them? For me, that's the best way to highlight failure. And then you want to identify this transformation. You want to reiterate their current position and what it means to go from that to another transformed state. So from A to B, essentially. That's the purpose of this framework. And if you can use a framework like this and write it out and really understand your audience and how you fit within that by way of a guide and what success looks like, what failure looks like, it's really going to help you. I personally use this framework on my website, and it means that my website is not about me, okay? It's about my customers, which is so important. Let's jump off the screen and I'll show you my website and I'll guide you through how we've managed to do this so you can start thinking about how you can implement this into your business too. Hey, just me real quick, sorry to interrupt. I hope you're finding this training valuable. Now, if you want to take your learning further, if you want access to me in terms of a mentor, if you want all of my cold calling scripts, all of my demo presentations, everything else that you need to plug and play into your business so you can also build a six-figure business just like I have, then click the link below down in the description. Right, back to the training. Cool. So just reverting back to this quickly, we've got our high converting websites. So everything that we're doing is sending them to this place. So this really needs to be key in its power and ability to be able to convert customers to take action and book a call. So let's go through that framework and I'll show you how this looks on our website. So first things first, we need to know who the character is, who it is that we are working with. And that, in this instance, is struggling business owners. Okay, that's currently who we're looking to work with. Quite vague. The more specific that you can be, the better. The reason why we do this is because we're at a point now where we've become niche in the service offering, not necessarily the sector. And we get a lot of traffic coming by way of YouTube and a lot of traffic coming by way of Google SEO. So I didn't want to completely shut everyone down when actually our services can help any struggling business owner. So that's who we're helping. What do they want? So they want to regain confidence in their website, increase inquiries, and raise their rates. Okay, that's what they want to do. That's what we've discovered our ideal customers want to do. So then we're going to move on to their problems, okay? And we've highlighted this really clearly. So their current problems: unengaged visitors, poor credibility, ongoing tech issues, and they can't be found. Now, we have external, internal, and philosophical problems. You don't write them out as explicitly. You would within the framework, but when it comes to writing the copy on your website, you don't write it out explicitly. You can kind of merge them all together, or you can call them out at separate points. What we're doing here is being really explicit with kind of the external problems. And then we've got sort of the intrinsic here, so they shouldn't have to work so hard for the website for it to still be losing them clients. So we're highlighting the problem, okay? Then again, we're touching on the intrinsic problem again. And then now we're introducing them to the guide. Okay, this is us. This is, you can see this is me. Okay, I'm the guide in this instance. We are showcasing empathy. Okay, I get it. You're running your business is hard. I've felt the frustrations and disappointment when things are not going as you'd hoped. So that's some of the feelings that they might be feeling. And I felt it too. And I'm showing them and I'm telling them that I felt it too. Okay, so we're showing empathy. We've helped over 50 businesses like theirs. So we're also showing authority. Okay, so you can see how this is starting to piece together. Next, we move on to summarizing a plan. So if we come down, we have a plan. We've got a 30-day WordPress transformation plan. And we're really being quite clear about what this looks like by week. And then we're calling them to action. So actually, although the guide and the framework kind of works in a sequence, and we are we are using that sequence, we're kind of breaking away from it a little bit, but all the components are still there because we've got call to actions in multiple places. Right? We've got these call to actions because at any stage they might be willing to just take action, and we want to jump on that opportunity. We then, if they want to take action, we don't want them to have to search too hard for it. So that's the idea there. So going down, we've got this transformation, and then we've got more authority building by way of testimonials. We've got showing them exactly what they're going to get. Okay, there's a lot more information here, the pricing, but on the surface, the framework is still within this content. More authority here. Okay, ready for a change. How can we help? So now we're calling them to action. Okay, what is it? How do they make this a reality for them? Okay, well, there's 3 steps. We're really breaking it down and making it easy for them that they can get to their end goal in 3 simple steps. Scheduling a call. That's calling them to action. Okay, then we go through the process where we're actually helping them and doing the work for them. And then they end up at the end result in step 3, so more inquiries. Again, we've got a call to action. And then finally, we've got results in. So what does it mean if they're successful? Okay, well, this is their transformation. This is what they're going to get if they work with us. Okay, be found by their ideal clients, reduce tech issues, more website inquiries. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking their problems and we're just flipping them into positives. And that's what they're going to get. Okay, so it's really simple. You label it that clearly and you're going to find yourself having a much higher converting website. Okay, and then we're touching on that pain. Imagine if your current website problems continue and your business doesn't get better. Okay, we're getting them to imagine like, you're here, you need help. What if you don't take action today? Okay, and then we're just encouraging them again. We're trying to tap into that emotional level and get them to take action. Now for us, this framework has been embedded in our SEO sales page. Okay, this is a sales page that we send traffic to so it ranks well. And then all of the traffic that we're bringing in via SEO, we're putting them through this high converting landing page to then result in booked calls and inquiries. So coming back to this diagram, okay, we've covered quite a bit here. So the traffic sources coming in, lead magnet. This is a way of building trust and authority and desire, and we're sending them to the website, which continues to do all of that stuff by way of the Donald Miller story brand framework. And you can take this framework once you've got the framework in place and you understand your customer, what they look like, what their problems are, and how you help and how you can guide them. Make sure that you're embedding all of that message into these emails too. Okay, you now know how this can result into a booked call, like so. So what do you do now? Okay, what do you do once someone books in a call with you? Because the process doesn't end there. Yes, you have a booked call, but now you need to get them across the line and get them to work with you. So there is additional steps which I'm going to take you through now. So first of all, we have a discovery call. Okay, we have 2 calls that take place with them. We've got the discovery call, and then we've got, as you can see here, the demo call. So discovery and then demo. So the discovery call is discovering why the prospect is there, what their painful problem is. Now you already have a pretty good idea of what this is, and you've built a solution around it which you've created desire for, and they're there because they feel like there's enough desire to take action and that you're the right solution. But you need them to tell you what this problem is. And I'll show you how you can do that in a second. And then next, on the second call, you guide them through how you're going to solve their unique problems with your unique approach. Solve their problems with your unique approach. And I'll guide you through how to do that in a second too. So coming back here, let's have a look at the discovery call. Now, when they've booked the call, what's really good here is they're interested, they're invested, and they've come to you. You haven't had to reach out to them cold or spam them or like cold DM them, cold call them, and they haven't got their guard up, okay? Which makes the process of selling so much easier, even if you don't have sales skills. You don't need sales skills. You just need a guide or a framework to guide you through what you need to do and what sort of questions that you need to ask. So the ultimate goal of the discovery call is to discover why the prospect is there. Now, so we know that the ultimate goal of the discovery call is to find out why the prospect is there, what problems that they have, and what it is that they need solving. Okay, and at this stage, I don't want you to take responses like, I want a website, or I'm just here to learn more. Okay, there is a reason why they're there. Why did they want the website? What reason brought them there? If they're just looking for more information, what do they want that information to do? What do they want that information to solve for them? Okay, that's what you're trying to figure out. You want to be unlocking their pain and their motivation. So a couple of questions that you can ask in order to do all of these things is a simple one. So name, what made you accept this call today? Okay, so John, why did you accept this call today? Okay, get them to start talking. They want to be doing most of the talking, not you. You are asking the questions and you're active listening. You can then ask them, cool, do you have a goal right now? Okay, what's the goal? What are they trying to do with their business? Then you can ask them, all right, awesome. Well, why is this important to you? Why are you trying to reach this goal? What does it mean? For what purpose? Then you start trying to dig into more personal, intrinsic reasons why they are trying to get to where they want to be. Okay, it could be they want more money, they want freedom, they want more time with their family. It could be anything. You then ask them, well, what have they done already to try and solve this? This is the question that opens up them talking about maybe working with other agencies, or they've done their website themselves, or they've tried running Facebook ads, or they've tried SEO before, or they've tried Google ads and nothing seems to be working for them. They've tried working with a freelancer. Whatever it might be, they may have tried something, and you want to understand what it is that they've tried and why they felt that didn't work. Okay, then you can tap into that and showcase why you're different later down the line. And then finally, you could ask them, okay, got it, based on what you told me, it sounds like that you're almost there. You just haven't found the missing piece of the puzzle yet. And then you would get them to agree. So that's really powerful, because getting them to agree shows that there is a problem and you've identified it, and you then can call them into inviting them into a second call, which you can then show them what those missing puzzle pieces are. You want to make sure that you're doing this on Zoom if you can, but if that's not possible at this stage, a phone call is fine. But I feel like when you're on video and you're having a conversation with someone, it's much easier to build rapport. If you do want the full SOPs and question list and guide on the discovery call, like it's inside the Agency Alchemist, so make sure that you go and check that out. There is a link to it down in the description. But next, we are going to move on to that next call, and that is a demo call. Now this call is really cool. Okay, it's awesome. What we're going to be doing here is taking the information that we got from the discovery call, the previous call, all of their problems, what their goals are, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to achieve. Okay, and we're going to show them how we're going to get them there. So you can see here how we're going to take them from A down to B. And this is the live call. Okay, it's a live demonstration. You share your screen, you talk them through a presentation. And again, if you want to know what that presentation is, it's inside the Agency Alchemist. But I can give you an idea of what's within that presentation. First of all, you're going to recap the previous conversation. So you're going to recap on what their goals are. You're going to recap on the painful problems that they're currently having to deal with. Okay, so you can reignite that emotion within their belly where they're like, yeah, it sucks right now, please help me. You're going to also use the law of comparison. So you're going to compare where your client or potential client is currently at against their competitors. Okay, this is going to fuel them. It's going to kick their ego into place, and it's going to make them think, fuck, I need to beat these people. Okay, so this is why we do this. You're going to then talk them through your process. What is your process? Why is it unique, and why is it different to other people? What are you offering that other people aren't that's going to help this customer? What are you doing that that they haven't tried before that is going to help them get to their end goal? What is going to help them get from A to B? You also want to show them case studies. So continuously building credibility and authority that you've managed to help other people with the same problem. And then finally, you're going to give them the opportunity to ask any questions. Now, at this stage, they should be pretty sold, but they're going to ask you about price. Okay, that question will always come up. It's usually the first question that comes up when I invite questions. And then there will be other questions, or otherwise known as objections, that you'll have to tackle in order to convince the customer that you are the right fit. Sometimes they'll just be like, yes, take my money, and that is the end goal, but that's not always the case, especially if they've been burnt in the past. So hopefully that's given you an idea of this whole entire process. Okay, just flicking back to the beginning, looking at this funnel. Okay, we've got the content. Okay, that was done in the previous video. Okay, we've got interest being built through lead magnets. We've got the desire being created through nurturing the customer by way of emails. And then we've got calling them to action by way of the high converting website and then booking a call. Okay, so that is the strategy. That is how we are currently booking meetings and making sales within our business. It works so well. Once you have all of these puzzle pieces together, this system is going to be awesome for you. Now, it does take a little bit of time, okay, especially if you're trying to rank high on Google for specific keywords that you want to be ranking for. But in the previous video, I've shown you ways that you can make this happen faster, and also show you that you don't need to have stupidly high numbers in order to start acquiring customers. You only need a couple of visitors to your website. If you can convert 1 in 10, if you can get 1 in 10 or 1 in 50 to book a call with you, that's a great conversion rate. If you can get 1 in 100 visitors to book with you, all you need to do is work on getting these first 100 visitors to your website and to get that booked call. Same with social channels. If you can build an audience, you only need like an audience of 100, or you only need, let's say, 1,000 views on a handful of videos, 100 people visit your site, 1 of them book in. Okay, they're very low numbers, but you can start to see how all of this works together, hopefully. So yeah, go try it. I hope you found this valuable. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, there's an end screen coming up, guys, with more valuable content. If you're interested, the next video in this series is all around onboarding. So if you want to know how you can effortlessly onboard your new customers once you've sold them into your business correctly, then make sure that you go and check that video out next week too. Well, that's it from me. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Bye.